Our biggest focus this morning is the movement of the Caldor Fire marching closer and closer to Tahoe. Here's a wide view of the fire. You can see the Caldor Fire and its relation to Lake Tahoe. You can also see the Tamarack Fire in the east, which is 82% contained. And you can see the Amador County line where the fire is also threatening. Right now, the fire is creeping northeast towards Strawberry. Fire conditions slowed overnight, the Caldor Fire growing 4,000 acres since yesterday. But containment on the 156,000-acre fire remains at 19%. And the flames have burned over more than 600 structures. We have team coverage on this fire. ABC 10 Luke Cleary is live in Strawberry right now, where the fire is quickly approaching. Luke, what is the latest from fire crews when it comes to containment?
Well, hi, Monica. We've got some good news and bad news from the operational briefing from CAL FIRE this morning. They say that the homes this way, west on Highway 50, a lot of cabins there, all of those saved, no structure loss reported overnight. And here we see Strawberry Station General Store. We were here last night as we witnessed a tactical defensive burn. You can see all those low fuels, the grass, the pine cones laying on the ground have burned off, but most of the trees, and importantly, the structure was saved. That was lit by the U.S. Forest Service hotshot. So that's the good news. The bad news, though, being you look right up here, this is a spot fire still smoldering on the south side of Highway 50. And we have seen at least one other spot fire east of here. And although it's not clear exactly where those sit in relation to contingency lines, we can tell you we're about 11 miles of from the Tahoe Basin here. It's an important critical junction in the fight to stop the Caldor Fire from spreading east into the Tahoe Basin.
It's almost clear skies out here compared to yesterday, so that's definitely a good thing.
Blue skies early Saturday morning bring a brief respite from the smoke and the opportunity for air support.
Tahoe's up here.
That changed by mid-afternoon, a deep orange haze over Strawberry.
We've seen an increase in our winds, so that's why we're seeing our fire activity on these ridges behind us increase as well.
Anything to be concerned about right here?
Not right here, no. We're closely monitoring the situation. As you can see, we have a ton of resources in Strawberry right now.
Crews still executing their plan to stop the Caldor Fire's march to the east. Bulldozers breaking up the fire's access to dry fuels like dead trees and brush.
The train's steep.
The section burning north of Highway 50 in what they call a slopover across the proposed highway containment line.
Here we see the U.S. Forest Service monitoring a pretty active part of the fire. Surrounding this property, though, we see the ground is churned up. This is a dozer line meant to help protect this structure.
Wrapping it in foil helps ward off radiant heat. The U.S. Forest Service says it could help the structure survive. The old, deep-rooted trees will likely live through this as long as they don't torch like these, visible from Strawberry Station.
This is the example of where a dozer can't go.
South of Highway 50, a hand crew cut this contingency line, pre-plumbed with fire hose.
We already have it staged, ready to go.
And you'll have firefighters right here.
There'll be firefighters every 100 feet.
And back in Strawberry.
It is alarming watching trees torch like we're seeing on the ridge tops, but it's nothing that the crews here aren't able to handle.
And today, one of the major concerns is going to be those dynamic weather conditions, changes expected over the weekend. We will be working closely with CAL FIRE's public information officers to bring you this information. We'll be here all day bringing you updates. Monica?
Only 11 miles from the Tahoe Basin, Luke. Thank you. We'll check back in with you a little later. Carly, I know you're keeping a track on the smoke and the winds.
Yeah, that's right. I've been watching all the conditions overnight, including these images that have been coming in. As we take a look, you see the sun that rose over areas right around, you can see the greater Tahoe cameras here, and you can see all of that smoke and haze as the sun rose over that area, creating more dim and really just eerie skies over the region. So we're going to expect to see something very similar today. And then take a look at this through the overnight hours. A lot of that fire pushing up, and this is an area of Leak Springs camera looking toward the fire. You can see just underneath those trees there, you can see that glow up. And of course, like Luke mentioned there, You do not want to see those trees up in flame necessarily. The underbrush is hopefully where it stays at, but as soon as they start reaching up higher, we can get more longer range spot fires instead of some shorter range ones at the surface. Okay, let's take a look at where the fire is heading. As Luke mentioned, he's in Strawberry, and the wildfire, I should say, is moving northeast. The containment lines here, they're trying to do a lot of back burns to make sure that the fire doesn't jump too far ahead where they cannot contain it. The problem is moving in from today to tomorrow is going to be the biggest issue because winds, they're expected to pick up from Monday morning through Tuesday night, a 48-hour event, or we could see some strong winds pushing spot fires even further. Containment will be huge today with air tankers. You have the retardant coming overhead, as well as those bulldozers and containment lines. Now looking at some light to calm winds in the valley now, we're going to expect something similar before winds from just the onshore winds push through and start to speed up some of the activity. Visibility is limited to about 1 to 2 miles, and air quality today is still expected to be unhealthy to very unhealthy from Sacramento to the foothills, with some improvements by the afternoon.
Thank you, Carly. Now take a look at this plume of smoke from the Caldor Fire this morning. This camera is near Grizzly Flats and Highway 88, looking northeast at Lake Tahoe. Fire crews are still working on their plan to stop the Caldor Fire to the basin, encouraging residents in Tahoe to prepare for the worst as the forecast in the next few weeks shows increasing wind speeds.
We do have containment lines to the east of here that are actively being worked on and have been planned for days in advance. We want them to be prepared for any sort of emergency that they may have, whether it's this one or something else.
When it comes to evacuations, here are 3 locations in Dorado County where you can take shelter: the Greenville Valley Community Church in Placerville, Cameron Park Community Services District, and Rolling Hills Church in El Dorado Hills. If you are closer to Tahoe, the Douglas County Community Center in Nevada is also serving as a shelter. In the event of an evacuation order, it's important to know what you need to take with you, just in case you find yourself in a dire situation. So it's good to remember the 5 P's. Number 1 is people. Be ready to get your family members out the door. And if it's safe, don't forget pets too. Second P is personal needs. Those are things like clothes, cash, and food. The next P is priceless items. Think pictures and valuables like family heirlooms, things you can't replace. Fourth, bring your prescriptions. You never know if you might not be able to access them right away. And finally, papers. Don't forget those most important documents.